When you're discharged from the hospital with your newborn baby, the nurses and doctors are going to instruct you on how much formula your newborn baby is taking at that time. So when you go home, continue with what they're saying. You will have an appointment with your pediatrician 2 to 3 days after discharge. At this time, your pediatrician will instruct you as to how much formula you're going to be giving your newborn and how much you're going to be increasing the feedings. Let's talk about positioning your baby and the bottle for a feeding. A good position to feed your newborn baby in is an upright position. I'm going to say approximately a 45-degree angle is a great angle to have your newborn baby in during a feeding. Now, as far as the bottle goes, again, approximately a 45-degree angle for the bottle. You do not want the bottle to be too upright. This is going to cause too much formula to drip out of the nipple into your baby's mouth. Also, you don't want the nipple to be too far down because air will enter into the nipple and cause your baby to ingest too much air into their bellies. So you always want to make sure that there is formula filling in the nipple at all times, and approximately 45-degree angle for both the baby and the nipple would be perfect. Just so you know, this is James's natural hairdo. We try to put it down, but it just puffs right back out. It's very cute. It's not uncommon for newborn babies to fall asleep during feeding. This is a very happy time for them. They love to eat. So you can move the nipple around a little bit in their mouth. You could twirl it around. You could take your fingers and go under their chin gently. Try to get them to start nippling again. You could even do some cheek support just by holding their cheeks while they're nippling, just to kind of get them going again. James is still nippling, but if babies fall asleep, sometimes they just stop feeding altogether. So there's different things that you can do to wake them up again. Certain things are singing to them, talking to them, rubbing them gently, massaging their feet. For more drastic measures, you can undress them. You can rechange their diaper. If it's dirty or not, that doesn't matter. Those kind of things will help with waking them up again. Burping is also a good way of waking your baby up so that they will continue their feeding and complete it. Babies tend to accumulate air in their bellies when they are feeding. Bottle-fed babies tend to have more air in their bellies during the feeding than do breastfed babies, because bottle-fed babies ingest more air as they're feeding. Breastfed babies latch on to the breast and they do not get any air in because they're not getting air from the mother's breast. The right time to burp your baby is in the middle of the feeding.
Oh, that was it.
And also again at the end of the feeding. There are different positions that you can use to burp your baby. Some of the most common positions are putting your baby over your shoulder, and then you can gently pat or rub the back. Another position you can burp your baby in is you could rest them on your lap sitting up, lean them forward, hold their head in your hand securely, and then again gently pat their backs. You could rub their backs in a circular motion. That's usually a very common way of burping your baby. Another way you could do it is you could place the baby down on your lap, put the diaper cloth down first, and just gently lay them down on your lap. I know, you're a good boy. Just like this. And again, rub or pat their back gently. If you're trying to burp your baby and they're only halfway through their feeding and they're not letting out a burp, try to burp for approximately 5 minutes. If you're not getting a burp out, that's okay. Not every baby is going to burp midway through their feeding. Just continue along with your feeding and then try again to get a burp out at the end of the feeding. Don't worry if your baby doesn't let out a burp. They will let it out some way. It might be the other end. Sometimes you'll notice when you're burping your baby, a little bit of spit up might come out. That's okay. A lot of times air is underneath that formula or breast milk, and when the air comes out, a little bit of formula or the breast milk may come out as well. Don't worry about that. There are times that you could be a little bit concerned, and that is if your baby is excessively spitting up large amounts, or if they're extremely irritable while they're spitting up. In this instance, I would say to contact your pediatrician.